Curlfriend, raise your hand if you've ever worn kinky twists, experienced a ton of new growth, took down the hair and lost all that beautiful new growth and actually ended up with less hair than when you started. If that sounds like you, because it definitely was me, then watch this video all the way to the end for exactly how I was able to retain all that length, experience as minimal to no breakage as possible, all while taking down my fine and fragile natural strands from pretty manipulation intense styles just like this. Keep on watching. So first and foremost, the most important piece is that before you begin taking down your kinky twist, your braids, you really want to make sure that you actually have enough time. Now, you can spend that time watching Find Natural Hair Rocks. Yes, I had to do the plug. Or, you could call a friend, you could watch Netflix, you can listen to music, an Audible book, or whatever. But just make sure that you're in the mental mind frame of relaxation and calmness to really get you in the right state of mind so that you can take out your braids without causing any particular unnecessary damage. That's gonna be very important because the more you rush through things, when you are stressed out, it actually has a tendency to cause us to kind of be a little bit more abrasive, a little bit more rough with the hair, which is the exact opposite of what we wanna be doing when we're dealing with our fine and fragile natural strands. Hot on the heels of having lots of time is packing lots of patience. Curlfriend, if you're anything like me, your life is full. You have work, you might have kids, you have, aging parents, you have family members, you just have so much going on and really very little time to do anything else. But I beg of you to pack your patience when you're dealing with your fine and fragile natural strands. Now is not the time to take out those strands if you are feeling irritated about something that happened in your day. Maybe, work is really pressuring you and you're feeling the stress. That is not a good time to go ahead and take down your hair because I promise you, Curlfriend, you are going to experience damage and breakage in ways that you would not have necessarily experienced that damage or breakage if you had just waited for a moment when you felt a little less rushed and had a lot more patience. This one used to get me every single time. And that is to make sure that when you are taking down your braids and you're cutting down some of that time, literally cutting with the scissors, you're not cutting too high up the braid where it might potentially grab your own real hair. Now, I know, we want to get through this as quickly as possible. It took, at least for me with this style, it took 10 hours to put in. Shout outs to my girl here in Toronto who was able to really do such a beautiful job. But 10 hours going in probably means about 5 to 8 hours coming out. And you really want to cut some of that time down. My hair is about it's touching bra strap length at this point. And so for me, I wouldn't go all the way down here, but I might be very conservative with where I cut the hair and maybe cut around this part. So my hair is not blonde. There's no blonde in my hair at all. I would make sure that the goldy brown looking blonde pieces, I cut there, and anywhere that it starts to look black, that is where I don't cut. So definitely err on the side of more space as opposed to less because you really don't want to inadvertently be cutting off your hair unbeknownst to you. Curlfriend, have you ever cut off your own real hair while you were taking down your braids? I know I used to do that a lot back in the past and it burnt my soul. It literally made my heart cry because I've been on this journey for so long of healthy hair care. Let me know in the comment section down below what your story is in terms of, maybe you cut your braid too short, maybe you ripped out and yanked out, braids too quickly, whatever it might be. Let me know in the comment section down below because we're all in this together. Curlfriend, have you ever taken all of the hair out at the exact same time? So you take down a braid, you take down another braid, you take down another, you do the same thing across your entire head. And then after you've got all the hair out, that's when you go to detangle? That's wrong. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. I did that once way back in the day and I immediately regretted it. If you're looking for as much length retention as possible, you want to take out one braid, carefully detangle it from your strand, so remove the extension from your natural hair, Then you want to go in at the base of the braid where the clumpy of the products and the dirt tend to clump up and create that white cast. You want to go in, remove that, and then also detangle. Do all of that per braid so that when it comes down to all of the braids being taken out of your hair, all of the extensions are out. All you have to do at that point is perhaps maybe pre-poo it, hop in the shower, wash it out, and go about your business. This is gonna be a lot more easier dealing with it braid by braid because you have that time, you have that opportunity of not feeling overwhelmed to really go in and just focus on the braid at task. Bonus tip, when you are doing that, you wanna start in the middle of your head so that if you do run out of time being the busy curlfriend that you are, you can absolutely go back in, kind of cover it on up, deal with whatever you have to deal with outside, and then return to it once you've got more time, more patience, and more of an ability to really provide your hair with the TLC, the tender loving care that your strands really do need in that moment. Brief ad break. I want to say shout outs to Merit for sending these gorgeous products to me for Fine Natural Hair Rocks. I've featured Merit in the past, but I wanted to feature them again today because I am actually wearing 2 of their foundation sticks. Now for my entire face, I'm actually wearing the foundation stick right here. This is Amber, and she looks like this. And then to contour my cheeks and to really just give like a nice glow, some more color to the face, I went in with the same foundation stick from Merit, and here it is right here. And this one is in Sepia. The thing that I really love about Merit products is the fact that it goes on very lightly. It doesn't look like a lot of makeup, but yet it still gives a nice coverage in a very natural looking way. So shout outs to Merit for sending these wonderful products to Fine Natural Hair Rocks. It's always very much appreciated. Curlfriend, if you're interested in checking out anything from Merit, they've got beautiful blushes, lipsticks, foundation sticks like what I'm wearing today, then go ahead and check out the comment section down below, or rather check out the description box down below, where I'll be leaving all of the information on how you can get your hands on some goodies from Merit. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. The next tip that you're gonna wanna do is make sure that when you are removing that little, the base of clump, that dirt, that oil, all those things, you wanna go in with an oil to break it on up. Now, if you've got, maybe a looser texture of hair, you might, or even a tighter texture of hair, you might be inclined or want to use like a detangler. I would caution not to use a detangler at this point, just because if you've got tighter strands, tighter fine natural curls, you can actually cause more damage than help, or than benefits rather, by going in with the leave-in conditioner, the detangler, which has water as a first ingredient, which will cause your hair to revert and curl up on itself. So to avoid all of that, go in with an oil. The oil will break down the base of that dirt once the extension is out of your hair, and only then can you maybe go in with a detangler once the base is all freed and you no longer have that clumpy product overload at the base of your strands. The next tip is actually hot on the heels of that tip, and it's to be careful what type of a detangler that you use when you are starting to detangle your strands. Now, I've got very tightly curly, coily, fine natural hair. I'm not gonna get into what type it is because I don't know. I just know it's type 4 something. And so because I know it's type 4, it's tightly coily, tightly curly, I'm gonna go in with an oil, and only an oil, to remove that base, so that clump of, over product that's at the base of the braid, and then also to detangle the strands, because I know as soon as I get all of this out, it's gonna be wash day. It's gonna be an opportunity for me to go back in, strip all the oils, and then also do the remoisturization process, resetting of my strands back to a baseline level. Curlfriend, this tip, I feel very repetitive with it, but it's that important. Never ever leave your kinky twist, your braids, your extensions in for more than 8 weeks max. If you've got super fine strands, I would even venture to say leave your extensions in for no more than 6 weeks, because anything more than that is going to be a diminishing state of returns. So oftentimes people believe, I've got this protective style in, let me keep it on as long as possible, because the longer I keep it is the more my strands are gonna be protected. No, that is not the case. When it comes to fine and fragile strands, especially with a style as heavy and manipulation heavy as kinky twists, you really want to only keep them in for that 6 to 8 week time period, because anything over and beyond that time period is actually going to cause more harm and not more benefits. So definitely heed my advice on that tip. I promise you, I'm giving that advice based on experience and not based on the information that can be floating around the internet sometimes. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and give it a big like. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and check out my newsletter where I send these types of fine natural hair tips and tricks directly to your inbox so that you can be up to date and in the know about the very best hair practices specifically for fine and fragile natural hair. Last year, I implemented some really amazing fine natural tips and tricks to my fine strands that really took my hair to the next level. And I am only here to share what works, what doesn't work for you, so that your journey on your fine natural hair path can be a lot more smoother than my journey was. It took me literally 12 years to get to where I am right now. My hope with Fine Natural Hair Rocks is that I can kind of cut that time down for you so that you can start to enjoy the health and strength and length of your strands a lot faster than I did. Last year, there were a lot of things that didn't necessarily work. This year, I want to be bringing from 2022 the things that worked and kind of discarding the things that didn't work. So if you're interested in that, then you definitely want to stay tuned to Fine Natural Hair Rocks next week, when I share exactly what it looks like to grow long and strong fine natural hair in 2023 and beyond. In the meantime, if you found this video to be helpful, go ahead and like it, share it with a friend if you know someone who could benefit from this solid fine natural hair advice. Go ahead and subscribe, because those things really do help this channel out, and it also helps you out to remain connected and updated to the latest and greatest in fine natural hair advice. In the meantime, go ahead and check out this video next to see the 12 things that I stopped doing in 2022 to my fine natural hair that really, in my view, have led to exponential growth and much stronger, healthier fine natural strands. Thank you so much for watching, Curlfriend. I will see you in the next video. Bye!